Yeah, it was a little bit shaky. So anyway, if you look off right here to the right, there's a swale and a ditch. It's all right in here. It goes up the hill. I already worked on that a little bit, fixed some of that up. And then right here to the right, you can see towards the excavator, that's a drainage area, water drains. So what was happening is that we had a water issue where it was flowing down around this corner so bad that it was actually washing through the riprap. I already fixed that up and repacked it, but it was actually undermining the asphalt. So we want to prevent that from happening again. So two things are going to happen here. I'm going to do a little regrading on this road. And right where the excavator and this pipe is, I'm going to install a crossing. Now if you'll look right here, all this rocky stuff, right there, that's where the water's been draining. I'm going to kind of create a ditch out of that so the water continues to drain, but more in a controlled manner. And then we're going to run a pipe crossing across the road over to here and divert it off to the left. And I'll leave a little bit of overflow to go down that trench that was there that I was showing you a few minutes ago, or a minute ago down the hill. So that way a little bit can divert through the swale that was right in line with the excavator when I pointed up the hill. Just in case we get heavy enough rain that there's a lot of overflow. So, but I only want probably about 30% of the water to go that way. So 70 or 80% of the time, most of the time, we're in a position to be able to, we're in a position to be able to keep all the water on this side. So it just completely flows opposite of where it's been flowing. And if it goes down to the right around the corner there, a little ways down the hill, there's another pipe crossing that it can get underneath the driveway instead of having to flow all the way across it and make a big mess. So that's what we're planning on doing today, and I will have some progress clips throughout as we go. It won't be a real long video because I'm not going to show the actual working. It's just, camera's just a little too shaky for it. So anyway, catch up with you in a little while. Okay, so there's my pile of riprap. And so what I did is, you can see the swale there kind of on the right side, right against all the green. So I cleaned that swale up a little bit. I straightened it out. The water kind of naturally carved that. So I straightened it up a little bit, nothing too crazy. We're going to pack that with riprap, probably 20 or 30 feet up. And then you can see the pipe I put in the ground across the road. Now, over on the right side of the pipe, all right, so there's the front edge of the pipe. Right in here, I'm going to cut an overflow for that existing swale that goes down the hill, which is right in there. And so that way, if a little too much water for this pipe gets in, it'll overflow. We'll kind of do a small diversion. It just kind of depends on how heavily we end up getting rain. So both sides of this pipe are going to get heavily packed with the riprap also to help water flow, control water flow and slow down. So right now I'm just in the skid steer because we're going to backfill over the pipe. I pinned it with the excavator. I'm going to backfill over it a little bit better with the skid steer. And then I'm going to go ahead up to the top, and where the windrow is in the middle of the road, I'm just going to push that this way a little bit and regrade that whole road a few inches higher all the way down. Okay, so here's where we are. I love how good the videos are in this camera. So this is the road. I told you I swaled up a little bit. You can see over here the swale. I raised this grade a few inches. That's one end of the pipe. Here's the other end of the pipe. And then we made an overflow that ran through here. So as I walk back, it'll be easier to see it all. There's the pipe. There's an overflow that way. So basically I've got it set up so that if the water hits the top of that pipe, it'll discharge out to the left. I don't think we'll get that much water flow, but if we do, instead of it running over onto the road and down the hill there, it'll go this way. So it'll hit there, up and over, down that existing swale. That's hard to see through all the ferns, but it's there. Then we got riprap in here for the exit. Now the swale on this side I didn't mess with. He wanted me to do it right, but as little as possible. So they can come in here with a big strong leaf blower and get rid of all the leaves that's already in the riprap in here. So the next step, while I was waiting for my second load of riprap, which we just got, should be enough to finish this. I went ahead and took this swale on the left and made it a little bit deeper so I could pack it with riprap. Because the whole original issue was on the edge of this driveway right here. So what happened was the water would wash down so hard it actually undermined it. And that's what the cracking is on the edge of the driveway from driving trucks and stuff through here. So we repacked it. I still have a swale through there. The bottom way down there is full of DGA, so we're going to dig that out quite a bit and put a bunch more riprap in there. This is going to get packed with riprap in here. And since I diverted a bunch of water flow across the road now to cut that down on that corner, there's two spots here, one right here and one farther down where I dug the swale deeper, and we're going to pack that with riprap also. So the goal is to remove at least 50% of the water flow and divert it in a different direction when we get good heavy rain, because we get a ton of flow off of this hillside, this mountain. So only time will tell if it works. I believe that it will. They're very happy with what I've done so far. Disclaimer, this is my full-time 40-hour job, but I don't have a problem making a video of it because there's nothing to disclose who, what, where I'm working. So I am careful about people's privacy, including the company that I work for. So I'm going to hop in the skid steer. We're going to move some of this riprap around. I'm going to take the excavator down the hill to where all that DGA is into the swale. We're going to dig that out, and we're going to lay the DGA in here, raise this an inch or two, or as much as I'm able to. And then we'll pack the swale down the bottom that I dig the DGA out of with riprap. And that should wrap this project up. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this is day 2 of this project. We didn't quite get done yesterday, and then I had some things that I had to do this morning, so it's now the afternoon. So what I did so far today, you can see I'm bringing the riprap down there. So we cleaned the ditching out in here a little bit, and then where that swale goes up the hill there, which is hard to see behind the trees, but right behind all this riprap, there's a swale. Right there. I cleaned all this ditching out and cleaned it up a little ways up that swale there. And now I'm bringing down the remaining riprap that I have to fill the ditching back up. The riprap is just going to slow the water down. So it slows it down so there's less chance for erosion. spread it out behind the excavator. This area back here behind the excavator, we're going to spread it out in there. But I'm going to sift through it first because there is some riprap, and we'll go straight down this way through the woods with the remaining riprap in that pile to the swale that I was just on the bottom side of. And I'll pack some stone in that swale. I won't do the whole thing because we won't have enough material here to do the whole thing, and Boss Man doesn't really care about that. I'm already doing excessively more than what he thinks is satisfactory, but they want a permanent fix, and so I'm doing a permanent fix. This is part. Okay, so here is the final product. So what happened, this is the big truck problem area right here. This didn't have any riprap in it, and it was washed out severely bad. And you can see, which we left, but right in here, there's a little bit of washout. Water drains into the center of the road. We left that just in case some water comes down the road. A little bit going through there is okay. Not the excessive amount that we had. So, what I did here, this is a water remediation, basically solving a drainage problem. So what we've done, and mind you, this is in the middle of the woods, and I wanted everything to, as far as the woods itself, to stay kind of natural looking once everything is regrown. So we didn't go perfect grading and things like that. This roadway is graded up good enough to ride a side-by-side in a tractor through. That's all they need. So you could see right here in the center of the camera, that's the erosion that took place. It runs down the mountainside. So I came in here and we ditched this out so that the water would collect there. So what was happening was, these flies are awful. What was happening was kind of where that pipe inlet is, the water was coming down and it ended up flowing up onto the road, down the hill, and then to the left. And so it washed that corner out really badly underneath the driveway. So the riprap helps to slow water down. It doesn't do full erosion control, especially if you have a lot of water, and we've only got a small layer in here. So I tossed a little bit of seed in it. They can weed whack it. We have a grounds crew. So you've got the pipe inlet. The outlet is over there, so we crossed the road with it into an old existing ditch, which is decent enough that I just cleaned it out with the leaf blower, got rid of the leaves, and it's a good foot deep. It should handle the water flow. In case it does not, this here is an overflow that I created into an old existing swale that goes down the hill. So if it reaches just about the top of the pipe, instead of going out onto the road, it's going to flow down that swale. And this here, we just threw some hay and some seed down. And that's for the purposes of erosion control. These flies are awful. I got somebody coming on tractor. I'm going to pause this real quick. Okay, there you go. So anyway, I was walking down the hill, so we redid this swale right here. I tossed a little seed, so this, you can see where the cracking is because it eroded so bad from the water, it started to undermine the asphalt. So we went ahead and just packed it tight with the riprap. I did throw a little bit of seed in here, not a lot, but just enough for some roots to help with a little bit of erosion control. Because a little riprap like that, it's like I said, it slows the water down, but it doesn't always stop the erosion control. So where the overflow is up top by the pipe, this here is the swale, existing swale that it runs down. So I threw some just what we had left over. They didn't want to buy any more, so I kind of had to work with what I had. Otherwise, I would have preferred to fill that with riprap. But we seeded that as well to help with erosion control. So there's some riprap in there. That'll slow the water down a little bit right before it hits the bottom here. That created kind of a big basin here. And then dumped it out that way into an old existing flow. So, and then the seed, it's all seeded to help the erosion control where there's, where I graded some dirt off. It's not going to be anything that we mow. It's woods. We want it to kind of look natural. It's not graded up beautiful in those places that it's seeded. It's natural woods in here. We want it to stay that way. So, but that's the finished product. That's what we've got. I think it came out pretty good. So this is, like I said, this is being done here at my full-time 40-hour job, but these are the kinds of services and a lot more that we offer with the business, Cross and Stripes, excavating and hardscaping. We're located out of Dingman's Ferry, Pennsylvania. I serve Northeast Pennsylvania, and I serve Northern New Jersey. So if you are in either of those areas, be sure to check out the Facebook page. There's not a lot on there yet because we've just started, but this is my career, so this is what we do. But you will get my information there, my email, the phone number to contact us, which you also can text. It's a business cell phone number. So check out the Facebook page. Again, it's Cross and Stripes, Excavating and Hardscaping, LLC. We're based in Dingman's Ferry, Pennsylvania. And you will find my email and phone number there.